Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Monday, July 21st, and this is going to be our weekly briefing update. We're going to have our very special guest here with us. Our municipal guest is the mayor of the city of White Plains, Tom Roach. We're going to hear from our Youth Bureau Executive Director, Ernest McFadden, and the City of Mount Vernon's Youth Bureau Director, Debbie Burwell-Butler. We're going to follow that up with a great talk with our Director of Veteran Services, Josh Gascione. And then, of course, we'll have our Deputy County Executive letting us know everything that's going on in Westchester County. But we're going to start today just having a wonderful hot weekend, being in the place that the county seat is located in the great city of White Plains. White Plains has approximately 60,000 residents. They have so many tremendous things that are happening. Certainly we have not only the Bronx River Reservation and certainly the county center and the many things that we do along there. There's just tremendous investments in buildings that are going on that happens all around. The MTA's $90 million plus renovation of the White Plains train station, which is the #1 reverse commute in the Metro North system. There's just so many good things happening. With that, we're going to ask the mayor of the great city of White Plains, Tom Roach, to come up, let us know with everything that's happening in White Plains. Mayor Roach.
Thank you. Well, it's always my pleasure to join the county executive. Thank you. The county executive, we spend a lot of time together. We spent about a weekend together. But we work closely with the county on so many things, and it really is a great part of living in White Plains to have county government here and get to see so many of my friends that work in county government so frequently. You said I'm going to tell them everything that's happening in White Plains. I don't think that caused a shudder in the control room. I'll just say that I'm going to get a couple. And the big one that I think that is happening right now, many people might not be aware of, is we're conducting a feasibility study for the construction of a new community center. It will be multi-generational is the concept. It will help our senior center, youth bureau, our recreation and parks, all the different phases of city government come together, share space, and make an efficient and effective a building that will serve so many different uses. So as part of that, we want to have a lot of community participation. That's why we're doing the feasibility study. And on Wednesday, July 30th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the White Plains Public Library Auditorium, we're going to have a meeting of stakeholders, residents, business owners to share feedback, help shape the vision for the center. This is a vital part of our process. This is what we did with our comprehensive plan. This is what we did with our recent Vision Zero campaign, and we want to hear from you. So please come out and join us. We also, from big scale to smaller scale, but part of what life is as a mayor, very happy that just on Friday we cut the ribbon at it was Thursday, we cut the ribbon on a new playground in Battle Hill. We have a lot of playgrounds in White Plains, but one of our policies is every year one of the playgrounds gets completely redone. And it's always exciting. It's one of the ribbon cuttings you go to where you feel like you don't really need to cut the ribbon because the kids are already on the equipment. You can't keep them out. So that's always a lot of fun. And in that case, we brought in the parents, because we have 3 playgrounds in Battle Hill. When one playground went in Battle Hill, some parents asked questions about what about this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment. We got them involved in the discussions to help us plan out the 3rd playground. So there's something for everybody up there in the community. Great news for White Plains, and this is again probably for many people not going to be macro, but Mamaroneck Avenue is thriving. We have we're basically leased up. Most of the spaces are leased up, but the Sam Ash space has been empty. However, Smash Music has moved in. They sell guitars, they sell musical instruments. People are going to be able to come in, grab a guitar, jam, as Sam Ash used to be, as music stores used to be. They're going to rent instruments for parents that have, I rented trombones and trumpets for quite a long time. They won't have to drive far to do it. And so it's very exciting. It's a small business that's taking over, and basically, they came in and they're using everything that was in Sam Ash. All the guitars are already hanging on the walls. So it's exciting for me as someone who's interested in music, but as a mayor and loving to have that. That's a destination store. People come for a music store like that. And so finally, I want to point everyone's attention to something that we do now called Rock the Block. This we do with the bid. It is May through August, the third Wednesday of the month. And the next one is going to be August 20th. It runs 5:30 to 8:30. We have two bands, Ada Dyer and a tribute band, Everyday People. I'm just going to presume that everyone knows what the tribute would be if the name of the band is Everyday People. But if you're younger, maybe. Sly and the Family Stone. It was going to be fantastic. But we are seeing such a great turnout for this event. This is a transformation of an event that was originally we'd get a headliner, we'd do it once, and now you're worried about rain, and it's a huge event, and if it rains, you have a problem, it's expensive. We decided to move to 4 events with great artists, but more local. And it's a home run. The restaurants come out onto Mamaroneck Avenue, so any of the restaurants, Lily's, Brazen Fox, I'm not going to name them all, folks, but I'm going to get but there's 5 or 6 restaurants have their tables on the street, so you can sit and enjoy, hear the music, see your friends. There is a miniature golf course, there are games, there is a cornhole, plus all kinds of things for kids to play, and live music. So you could be seated watching the music, you could be seated having something to eat, or you could be playing with your children. And what I love about it is, one of the things we try in our events in government is to try and get a diverse response to the event. Not just, all kinds of people, and ages are tough to get all ages. This is an all ages event. So fireworks, New Year's Eve, and now Rock the Block. Those are our big all ages events. So please come out and enjoy. And thank you, Ken, for all the work we do together.
All right. Well, that's Mayor Tom Roach, and Mayor Roach has done so many tremendous things in White Plains. But when he talked about Smash Music being and Rock the Block together, it was really a good opportunity, because where they do Rock the Block is right where Sam Ash used to be. Now Smash Music is, and it kind of is a great tie-in together. And I know this past Wednesday we were out there, and it was a fantastic turnout. Again, on Rock the Block, and they continue to do that. And yes, I knew what Everyday People were, so I hope that everyone else did as well, because it sounds like it's going to be another exciting night on the third Wednesday in August, and being able to do that. I guess that's August 20th to do that. He did give some great information about the things that are happening. We're really trying to collaborate with the city of White Plains on whatever all-purpose center that they create, and be able to do that moving forward. So getting those ideas, whether it's from the Youth Bureau or Senior Center here in White Plains, trying to make sure that there's a new home for them, and in our area, in the Mamaroneck Avenue area, to try to pull all those together. That the recent announcement of the LGBTQ plus friendly housing that's being built in the Board of Elections, a parking lot, and that's moving forward. The city of White Plains just recently approved that as well, and so there's some good things that may come out of that study to see what things are working out best. And the mayor's doing a tremendous job leading the council and being able to do all that work together. So there's so many fun things happening, whether it is the fireworks that happen at the high school for the 4th of July, actually on the 3rd or the 2nd of July was the Wednesday before, and whether or not it's the New Year's Eve ball drop that happens right down in downtown, and certainly now the Rock the Block series, which has been fantastic. Although I know some of the bigger name groups that we had before, we love being out there for those, but this is even a better opportunity to give more chances for people in the city of White Plains to do that. So there's so many things happening, the excitement downtown on Mamaroneck Avenue in those stores there. And for us, especially for that Wednesday night, it was really hot. I think I stopped in Ice Cream Social on the way down. So again, shout out to Ice Cream Social on the end of Mamaroneck Avenue there. And we didn't give all the restaurant names because, as the mayor said, we probably get ourselves in trouble because we would forget somebody, but everyone was out there. It was just a tremendous evening. So thanks, Mayor Tom Roach, for all the great work that he continues to do. He mentioned that we saw each other over the weekend at several of the events in the county, and we'll talk about some of those later on. But the one we want to point out, since the mayor was just up here, was that the Italian Heritage Festival was at Kensico Dam Plaza, and the mayor and I were there because Anthony Maiucci Lodge is the one that helps bring everyone together. They do all of those lodges throughout Westchester County, Italian lodges, to do those lodges together. But Maiucci Lodge is the one that hosts it. They do a tremendous job, and certainly the mayor made sure to give a shout out to the great folks in Anthony Maiucci Lodge, their new president, and everyone working together to continue to do that. So it's always great seeing the mayor out there. I think there's a shot on Insta somewhere that has the mayor and myself on the stage at Italian Heritage, and it was hot, and he reminded people it was just like an Italian summer. So again, the folks that were out there, the 5,000 people that were out there, thanks a lot, Mayor Roach. We have some things that, and this is something that's exciting, another opportunity for Mayor Tom Roach and myself to be able to do the leadership that we've been doing over the years in electric vehicle charging access. So if you hear us talking electric vehicles, get out the way. It may be a bad time to be in between us because of the enthusiasm that we've had for this program for so many years as earlier adopters, and doing things when the mayor would take his Nissan Leaf up to Albany, which means he had to stop along the way. The cars now, you don't need to do that as much. You can get up and get to a faster charger and then be able to get back on the road. And certainly we did an announcement recently at the New York Power Authority, again, and with the high-speed chargers that they've been installing from New York Power Authority here in White Plains at one of the parking facilities right around the corner from Mamaroneck Avenue, and I think that's where a lot of people park for the Rock the Block series. So again, we in Westchester County are so proud to talk about the municipal electric vehicle charging program that expands that access for clean transportation, supporting the installation of EV charging stations across 24 different municipalities. The Board of Legislators adopted that particular legislation. It was only one person voted against that, and the county is working with those local municipalities to reimburse up to 50% of the eligible costs for a total commitment of $5 million. So the local municipalities are able to partner with that $5 million and join that with New York, some NYSERDA and NYPA programs, so that for the end of the day, the local residents, the local municipalities can install those for very close to nothing, but it's really another opportunity to expand that access. And we have so many things here in Westchester County. This is an investment both in our environment, our residents, and by installing those EV chargers in neighborhoods across Westchester. We're helping people transition to clean transportation while collaborating with all of our local partners in the municipal government to reduce pollution and promote healthier communities. We certainly thank the leadership of our Director of Environmental Conservation and Sustainability, Pete McCart, for all of his work on this. We have 24 municipalities, 79 charging sites with more than 750 charging ports across the county. So whether that's here in White Plains, and again, the mayor and the leadership here in the city of White Plains has been moving forward. They have chargers in every one of their parking facilities, including that new high-speed charger that NYPA put in a couple of months ago. We were out there for that. While these locations have been identified in partnership with our local governments, those final installations depend on each municipalities completing the necessary steps to bring their projects forward. And again, that list is being shown on the screen. We're not going to read through all of those 24 municipalities, but we want to continue to thank and to work with our local partners in government to make sure that we have a better environment for all of the people of Westchester County. The EV charging program is part of Westchester's broader commitment for environmental sustainability and accessible infrastructure. And again, it's throughout Westchester County and some cities and some towns and villages. Again, everyone has this opportunity to participate in it. And that's in addition to the county's own facilities. We have them at the golf courses. We have them at the county center, where we have 50 charging plugs that are there right next to the train station, so someone can plug their car in with their permit to park, and then go down to New York City, jump on the Metro North, and be able to do their work and come back and have their the car ready to rock and roll. So again, this EV charging program is fantastic, and we want to continue to help support our municipal partners as they're doing this work. At this time, we're going to ask and have an update from the Westchester County Youth Bureau. We're going to be having our Executive Director, Ernest McFadden, who's going to underscore the critical role the local partnerships play in expanding opportunities and support systems for our youth. And he's going to be joined by the City of Mount Vernon Youth Bureau Executive Director, Debbie Burrell Butler, who will share insights on the transformational impact on our summer youth employment and some of the other programs that they may have going on in the great city of Mount Vernon. And together they're going to discuss how collaboration across municipalities strengthens our collective mission to empower young people. So with that, we're going to ask Executive Director Ernest McFadden and certainly Executive Director Debbie Burwell Butler to come up and join me and give that information about everything that's happening with our youth.
Thank you, Mr. County. How are you doing?
It's good to see you.
Good. Thank you, Mr. County Exec Jenkins and Deputy County Exec Wishney. Good to see you. I will echo Mayor Roach's comment that Rock the Block rocks. I got a chance to participate or have dinner at one of the restaurants. I won't name it, but I did have dinner, and it was just an amazing day. So the summertime is fun. And so I am Ernest McFadden, Executive Director for the Westchester County Youth Bureau. I want to thank again the Deputy County Exec Wishney and the County Exec Jenkins for all your support. Mayor Roach, we love our relationship with your White Plains Youth Bureau. My good friend Frank Williams really does an amazing job, so I'm sure he's instrumental in this mixed-use center you talk about. So. Early this year, the Youth Bureau, we launched a series called Partnership Matters, because at the county government and as County Exec Jenkins shared, we don't do this work alone. We do it in collaboration with partners. Today is the second in the series of our Partnership Matters. And what we hope to do today is to put a face on our partners. The summertime is critical. As the mayor shared, come out, enjoy the summertime. But for young people, the summertime is even more critical, right? Because young people during the course of the summer, you think about beaches, you think about swimming, you think about going to the movies. The Youth Bureau serves over 100,000 young people during the course of the year. We have hundreds, thousands of young people who are looking for summer work during the course of the summer. So we put some of them to work in many municipal assignments. We have some of them in some of the schools during the course of the summer. But the value that the young people gets behind that is invaluable. I'll pause there for a moment and talk a little bit about, I will ask all of us here to think back a long time for some of us, that what was that first job like? What did it get you, right? And so I'm likely going to date myself, but my first job was with a paper called the Citizen Register. And I see some smiles in the audience, so I think you know what I'm talking about. That experience taught me a number of things about the value of work, accountability. It also taught me that sales was not for me. And so I quickly got out of that. So that's sort of what we hope to share with you today. About the Youth Bureau, during the course of the year, as I share with you, we serve thousands of young people in our programs, after school programs, and that spills over into the summer as well. So what we hope to do today is to put a face, as the county exec shared, this work of serving young people in Westchester. We do it in collaboration with our partners. And I'm delighted to have one of our partners from the southern part of the county join us to kind of put a face to what putting young people to work in their community means. And so with that, I'm going to introduce the Executive Director for the City of Mount Vernon Youth Bureau, Ms. Debbie Butler Burrell.
Thank you. As mentioned, my name is Debbie Burrell Butler, and I'm the proud Executive Director for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. I first want to say thank you to Executive Ken Jenkins and Deputy Executive Ken Jenkins and Deputy Richard Woodshire for your vision, your support, and your funding. That is key. I also want to say thank you for Ernest McFadden for allowing me to speak on this topic that is really, truly dear to me. And in a moment, you will find out why. As the Executive Director, I've served thousands of kids throughout Mount Vernon. And in order for you to understand about partnership, you first have to understand what it means for these youth. No longer youth, but because I serve so many youth, not only I could speak on their behalf, but I grew up in the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau at age 10. When I came from Jamaica, I was introduced to the Youth Bureau and by a mentor. And so I would go there before I even know what volunteering was. I know it was just going to a place that's considered safe, and there are a lot of kids gathered there. And so the journey started there for me. And so what the Youth Bureau is so much. Sometimes I don't think it gets enough credit for what it is that it provides to us youth. And for parents as well. We normally just say the Youth Bureau, and when we say youth, we're thinking about ages 6 to 24, but it also provides a relief for our parents. Imagine you being a parent and know that you could bring your youth to somewhere where it is safe and your child is just learning critical stuff. Not just critical stuff, but essential skills. Essential skills that we now utilize in our everyday. We call them transferable skills. I mean, the words go flip-flap, but what we cannot sleep on is that it's skills that we develop and work on. As a matter of fact, it creates a foundation for us, and a firm one, in addition to creating networking opportunities for not only for us, but for the businesses. The businesses is just one part of this whole big picture. We also have the youth and the parents that we mentioned, but we also have to have our funders, our support, the sources, the resources. Because if we have the kid who wants to work and then the place to place them, but we don't have the funding, it just doesn't work, and vice versa. And so what is it that it really gives? Not only training and workshop, financial literacy, because if we're going to pay them, we need to let them know how to spend your money. So it gives you that financial literacy that you could be savvy with your money. Not just money just to play with or buy the luscious $500 sneakers. No. If we work in the demographic that I work in, you know that there are food and poverty, insecurities. And so sometimes these kids, when they work their money, they actually do their own back to school shopping. Let me pause right there. Our kid is earning minimum wage, at least in the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. They're working 120 hours for the 6 weeks, which equates to $1,980. Now, I'm not going back as far as Ernest did, but I remember when I got my first summer job, I was working $4.25 an hour. Don't try doing the math. But we came a long way. And so with that being said, the summer job is not just about money. It provides independence for our youth. In addition to that, it creates networking opportunities where youth are able to get like an ally, a mentor, someone that will be there for them when it's time for them to go to college. I make sure that we encourage our kids to go back to your work site and have these supervisors write their recommendation letters for college. In addition, it helps them put something valuable on their resume. I'm not saying anything that we all don't know, but my purpose here today is to let you know I'm really passionate about summer employment, SYEP, because I was that kid. I was that kid that came from Jamaica and earning my first paycheck give me this feeling, this independence, and to know that I could cash this check and I could actually not ask my mom or dad for money to go to the movies, to buy the candy that they always tell me no to. It was very empowering. And so for me to stand here today and let you know that what you're doing as a county is not just about the money, but the opportunities. We expose them to so many other career pathways. And so right now we are having about 400 kids this summer between academies that's funded also by the county and summer employment, 400 kids. That is a really big number, and it keeps us very busy. But at the end of the day, they're grateful. Parents come back, and word of mouth is the biggest thing. I can't tell you, even though 400 is a lot, the waiting list is probably another 100. So the partnership, the support that we get from the county is, as Ernest said, invaluable. It goes on. And I always tell my youth that one day I hope someone is in the audience that's willing to take my job, Ernest's job, county exec job, because that's what we're doing. We're educating them, exposing them, and empowering them. And so for that, I would say, please continue to support summer employment. Maybe one year we do it all year round. And so maybe that will be my goal. And so I say thank you for all this support, and let's continue to do this work together.
Thanks, Ernest.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Great. Well, first we want to say thank you again to our executive directors that were up here with us this afternoon. First, Debbie Burwell and Bert. Thank you, right? To make sure that she was here from the great city of Mount Vernon and talking about her lived experience and being able to show what things happen. And Ernest McFadden talking about his experience up in Ossining and in delivering the papers in our earlier journal news collection of newspapers up in the great village of Ossining. And again, when you see those kind of things that are happening, you recognize that there's so many young people that take advantage and have these opportunities, and they learn so many different life skills, transformational skills, things that make a difference. But the first one is having that ability to say, I have my own, to be able to make a difference. So Debbie, thank you so much for sharing for all of that. We kindly like trying to remind people that Westchester also has the #1 youth employer in the county in Playland, and that is something else that people do not take enough opportunity to recognize, that in Playland that we have, I think we hired 600 young people for those jobs in Playland, to be able to do that as Westchester's #1 youth employer as a single entity. Certainly there's more opportunities that are there, and every municipality that participates with the Summer Youth Employment Program will tell you that there's a waiting list, because there's always can be more. The businesses that work with us, with the local municipalities, with us in the county, and trying to do some different things to be able to put people on this path for their own success. So again, Debbie, thank you for taking out the time. We want to make sure to shout out Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, and again, as Mayor Tom Roach is here, they know from that leadership position as the mayor, those things don't happen without that head of the table being able to make a difference to do that. With that, we're going to ask our Veterans Executive Director of the Veterans Service Agency, Josh Gascione, to come up, share some thoughts with us and on how things are going, giving us an update of all the things happening with our veterans. And there's so many things happening, because the challenges keep happening at the federal level, but here in Westchester County, we keep trying to make a difference. With that, Josh Gascione.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. County Executive. A bunch of great things happening at our County Veteran Service Agency. Recently, we brought on Travis Melby, who brings years of experience in veteran services to the office. He also served as a combat medic with 2 deployments to Iraq. And we are thrilled to have him on board to help us meet the needs of veterans in the county. Changing gears just a bit, the Veteran Service Agency and many other veterans service organizations are partnering with Westchester Soccer Club, our very own soccer club here in Westchester that plays in Mount Vernon. And I told them I would show the swag. So we have the swag. The veterans, you're well acquainted in Mount Vernon. The Veterans Appreciation Night is August 24th, and they are offering discounted tickets and donating proceeds from the sales of those tickets to veterans organizations throughout Westchester County. The match starts and it's a match, not a game, so I'm getting it. The match starts at 7 p.m., and veterans will be honored on the field at 6:15 p.m. For more information, they can reach out to Brian Vigiano at Westchester SC. That number is 914-249-9072, or they can reach out to the Westchester County Veteran Service Agency. And lastly, not to bury the lead, the county executive talked about Playland and what a great employer that is. Playland has also been very friendly to our veterans over the years and will continue to honor our veterans this year. So Veterans Appreciation Day this year at Playland will be August 31st. Later this week, more information will be public about securing a spot for tabling and also how our veterans can receive their wristbands and parking passes. We will be having vendors tabling information, including the VA and their mobile clinic unit. We will have food trucks on the grounds so that veterans and their families can purchase food. And this will all be at the northern part of Playland by Playland Lake. All the information will be put out later this week, but we want to ensure that veterans and their families mark their calendars for August 31st. There will be countless people to thank for this event happening this year, including our county executive and the operations team and everybody else who got Playland running. But also I want to thank Peter Tartaglia, Adam Harvey, and Frank Carrieri, as well as the staff of the Veterans Service Agency. So again, please mark your calendars. And if you need any more information on that before the flyers go out, give us a call at the Veterans Service Agency at 914-995-5530. Thank you.
So we want to make sure to give another continued shameless shout out for our executive director from the Veteran Services Agency, Josh Gascione, and his entire team talking through the different things. It was good showing the Westchester Soccer Club, again, and another great opportunity in the city of Mount Vernon's stadium, so a memorial stadium that they have in Mount Vernon, and that's a partnership between Westchester Soccer Club and certainly the great city of Mount Vernon to be able to host their games on that tremendous dynamic field. So again, they've done some great things, and having this Veterans Appreciation Day that they're going to have, Veterans Appreciation Night, as they continue to roll out Westchester's professional soccer club, right? And again, it's a match, it's not a game. So again, Josh, thank you for that. Thank you for all of your service, and thank you for everything and your leadership with your team. And then mentioning on August 31st that we're going to have Veterans Appreciation at Playland Park with so many things that are happening, and food and vendors that'll be up by the Edith Reed section is traditionally where that is by Playland Lake. But again, right by the Edith Reed sanctuary, there's some area over there that has been traditionally where those activities have taken place. So we're looking forward to that. And we're going to continue while we're talking about the parks. We know for veterans, the Board of Legislators unanimously approved making sure that our veterans had park passes for free. So making sure if you get online, and certainly our Deputy County Executive will remind people about going online to find that information on where you can get a Westchester County Park Pass to be able to do that for our veterans, again, and those who have served. We are making sure that they have their service recognized by having a free county park pass. And again, that's a savings to them to be able to do that. And then, of course, with a park pass, there's additional savings that you get in the county facilities, whether that's golfing or entering in some of the facilities that we have, some of the pools and beaches. At Playland, you do not need to be a Westchester resident, but at every other facility that we have in Westchester County, you have to have a person that's a Westchester resident or have your park pass to be able to enter the facility at all. So again, it's a recognition of all of the service, and to thank those members of the service and their families, again, for those veterans and those who have served to do that. Thanks, Josh, for your service as well. We wanted to go through some really quick park numbers as we talked through. As we mentioned earlier, with Mayor Tom Roach and the Anthony Maiucci Lodge leadership for Italian Heritage Day, Our county clerk, Tim Idoni, reminded the two of us that his grandfather actually worked on the Kensico Dam, and there were so many members of those artisans that did that, of Italian descent, that worked on the Kensico Dam with other hardworking labor people to get that thing built. But Tim Idoni, shout out to Tim on when he mentioned that to us yesterday as a reminder of the heritage that so many of us have here in Westchester County, and doing that as well. We had at our pools and beaches over this weekend, we had 35,000 people, from an approximate number at the pools and beaches that we have. So certainly Glen Island Beach, Croton Point Beach, and Playland Beach, and then certainly the pools that we have around the county. And I know we're working on one up in Croton Point Park, thanks to Miliana Ulai, Legislator Ulai, who continually reminds us that there is not a county pool over 287, so we're going to work to fix that. But 35,000 people took advantage of that in the weather we had this weekend. We had 9,000 rounds of golf that were played. So again, those folks that are duffers at the county facilities, at the public golf courses, 9,000 rounds of golf. And Thursday through Sunday at Playland, we had 14,500 people that took advantage and went there. And again, for Playland, everyone knows this year admission, and as going forward, we said Playland admission will be free forever as long as county executive, we're working with our county board of legislators. It's a park, and we're going to continue to act like that. If you decide you want to go on the rides this year, it's a $15 wristband that gets you on unlimited rides. You can walk around the park, check it out, see if that's what you want to do, and go forward from there. And it's $10 to park, which is a reduction from last year when Standard Amusements ran it at $25. So there's so many affordable options to do there. Checking out the Children's Museum, the Playland Beach and pool that we have. So we have a great facility, affordable facility for our friends in Westchester County. Again, you don't need to be a Westchester resident to show up at any one of those places. The beach, the pool, or Playland Amusement Park admission is free. And again, if you decide to ride, it's $15 for unlimited rides, and we're going to keep moving forward and making things better at Playland Amusement Park. Again, we continue to move forward in making sure that we have so many things happening in Westchester County, talking about the park system. So with that, we're going to ask our Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, to let us know a smattering of the things that are going on in our Westchester County park system. Mr. TC.
Thank you, sir. You know, every week we come here and we have an opportunity to hear from mayors and supervisors and representatives from around the county, and we meet some of our employees that work for both the county as well as these local municipalities. It is so exciting to see all the wonderful things that happen in our community. Debbie and Ernie, you're doing great work. Tom Roach, Josh, so proud of all of you for what you do. You're making a difference here in our community. And it all comes under the leadership of an amazing county executive, Ken Jenkins. I'm very proud to work with him every single day. As the county executive mentioned, we do want to tell you a little bit about some of the events that are happening in addition to some of the things we've already mentioned. We have 15,000 acres, over 50 parks here in Westchester County, and there's always something happening every day. So here's just a few for this next week. Starting Tuesday, July 22nd from 11 a.m. to 11:45. It's called Park and Read. It's at Tibbetts Brook Park in Yonkers. The Westchester County Parks Park and Read program is an enjoyable read-aloud program in English and Spanish for children's age 3 to 6. The event is free. Registration is encouraged. You do want to show your registration confirmation at the parking booth when you pull in. It'll be held on a grass area outside of the bathhouse, and in case of inclement weather, at Pavilion 1. On Thursday, July 24th, from 6:30 to 7:30, free yoga classes at Kensico Dam Plaza. You can indulge in this ancient practice that encompasses physical, mental, and spiritual disciplines to promote well-being and self-awareness. It's free admission and parking. It'll also be held on July 31st and several times in August, which we'll remind you about in the near future. And then on Friday, July 25th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., the Robeson Summer Concerts will continue. This one will be at the Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla. It's called Love Story, a tribute to Taylor Swift performs. Ken and I are going to be there. We love Taylor Smith. And there is a rain, it's free parking and admission, and there is a rain date of Sunday, July 27th. And then on Saturday, July 26th at 5 p.m., screenings Under the Stars at the Kensico Dam Plaza. The movie is Inside Out 2. It's rated PG for the whole family. Go along for the ride as Riley tries to adapt her teenage years. Pre-movie entertainment begins at 5 p.m. Movies start at sundown. The event is rain or shine. Moviegoers should bring blankets, folding chairs, and a picnic. Refreshments will be available for sale as well. And on Sunday, July 27th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., we'll continue the wonderful Bicycle Sunday on the Bronx River Parkway. And again, that's for the whole family. It's safe. There's numerous places to enter from White Plains down to Yonkers. You get on, you can get off, enjoy it. It's free and safe. And this program will stop for the month of August and resume in September. And again, under the county executive's leadership, we'll bring you up to date about all those activities in the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. DCE. Thank you, Richard Wishney, for continuing to let us know all those things that are going on in the nationally accredited and award-winning park system. Every time we have an opportunity to talk through them and remind people from an affordability perspective, there's so many of those activities in the 50-plus facilities, 18,000 acres that we have across Westchester County, doing so many things. And for many times, those opportunities are free to park. It's not always free to park, but if you go to certain facilities, again, sign up for Park and Read, and every once in a while you can catch the Deputy County Executive out there reading with some of our staff members that do it in English and in Spanish. We had an opportunity to be up here in Saxon Woods, but again, those dates, you should make sure to download right now, if you don't have it already, the Parks app. So on your favorite platform, whether it's the Apple platform or an Android platform, go to the Google Play Store on the Android and the Apple store for the App Store to be able to download the Westchester County Parks app. It has all those information in it. Sign up for the e-newsletter that happens as well. You get some discounts as well that could come through there. And again, whether it's Zumba, or puppy yoga, you get a chance to see the Deputy County Executive. Namaste, right? So we'll keep working through all those things together, right? So we have just a good time here in Westchester County. So to wrap up, we started out today with our municipal leader, the great mayor of the great city of White Plains, Mayor Tom Roach, who is talking through so many things that are happening, but are focused on trying to make sure more people are participating so their voices are heard, as White Plains is trying to decide the things that should be in their community center for the senior center as well as for their youth. Follow that with our executive directors extraordinaire from the Youth Bureau. And so whether that's our executive director from the city of Mount Vernon, Debbie Butler Burwell, right? So as well as Ernest McFadden from Westchester County's Youth Bureau, to talk about all those things and see and hear from the lived experience and understand from that leadership, from being 10 years old, coming from Jamaica and participating in those activities, how important youth employment is and what everyone can do to help support those kind of activities, because again, those things don't happen by accident. And again, whether you have one opportunity to employ someone through the summer, their funding comes from somewhere else, so it's actually just utilizing and working with somebody. You have to have some criteria that works, and again, reaching out to whether it's Debbie or Ernie or any of your local municipalities, but in this case, Mount Vernon, to let them understand that you may have an opportunity. They'll work with you to see if that's going to be suitable for that young person to participate in, or everything else that happens in the Youth Bureau, because it's 24/7, 365 days of support. And again, making sure our youth are in those positions to be able to have the most success for themselves is what we all work hard to do. So thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Ernest, for what you all do. We followed that up with hearing from our executive director, our director from Veteran Service Agency, Josh Cascione, who's talking about so many things that are happening for our veterans in the upcoming soon, whether it's the Westchester Soccer Club's Veterans Appreciation Night, or whether that is Veterans Appreciation at Playland, which is going to happen on August 31st, Veterans Appreciation at Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, right? That'll happen on August 20th. So on Wednesday, August 20th, 28th? 20, okay, right. Well, make sure you look at the Veterans Administration website. They'll tell you exactly when that's happening for the Westchester Soccer Club Veterans Appreciation Night. Westchester Soccer Club has a very active social media account that they let everyone know what things are happening. And then we wrap that up at the end talking about the things that are happening in our park system. We want to remind everyone, again, there's so many activities for Westchester County that's affordable opportunities to be able to participate in free, and whether or not in the case of Mount Vernon, when they had their baby shower recently, when they had families being able to participating and be able to have so many things that would happen in a baby shower to support those families that need that. So again, we continue to work hard with our municipal partners to make a difference. White Plains rocking the block and making sure that we get information in, but also having a brand new ribbon cutting at a playground with the commitment in White Plains that every year they're going to be able to turn over one particular playground, and folks doing that together. With that, I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you're staying safe and healthy during this kind of time where we're getting these high temperature days and high degree days, making sure that you hydrate and checking in on family members, those that are elderly that may be inside for various reasons on health, making sure that you take that extra time to make a call, FaceTime them or something like that. All right. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ken Jenkins. Have a wonderful day.